Hey guys, Pre-Market9's here, and holy friggin' shinks, the moment we have been waiting for is finally here, guys. Yes, I'm wearing a lei for this video because honestly, I have never felt closer to these games in my entire life. I am so excited. This is completely insane. Oh my freaking gosh, guys. The Pokemon Sun and Moon demo came out. You guys know that. I know that. We've all been playing it. But the crazy thing about it is the data miners, they got in there, they mined their little hearts out, and they pulled out the entire Pokedex, seemingly. Now, we don't know if this is actually the entire Pokedex because I believe Nintendo's a smart company, I believe Game Freak's a smart company, and I don't think that they would let something like this happen on accident. So anything that was retrieved or pulled out of the demo, they left it there on purpose, because there was a lot of stuff that they scrubbed completely. So the fact that all of these Pokemon and their shiny forms were left in there is a little suspicious to me. Honestly, I don't know if it's a bad thing or good thing. This has never happened before for shiny Pokemon. With Pokemon X and Y, there was no data mine, none of that witchcraft. If you wanted to see what the shinies looked like, you had to go out and hunt them yourselves, and that's what we did. But that's just not the case for Pokemon Sun and Moon. I have all of the shiny forms sitting right here on my laptop, so I looked at them once already. I didn't look at them again. I want to do my first impressions with you guys and just kind of, you know, have a relaxed video where I let you know the ones that I like, the ones that I don't like, and the ones that are just a lot different than I expected. I've also been getting a ton of comments from you guys on all of my shiny speculation videos letting me know that there are so many shinies that I actually got really close to with my guesses. So completely crazy. I'm going to be doing a video where I edit and do a complete breakdown, compare and contrast to all the ones that I actually did speculate, but I wanted to get my thoughts out there first for you guys, so that's why I wanted to do more of a relaxed, not so edited, just kind of me talking to you guys, us hanging out looking at the shinies. That's what I wanted to do, and that's what we're doing today. So enough stalling, let's break it down, let's take a look at these shinies, and let's get into it. We haven't seen any shinies yet, so if you don't want to spoil yourself, if this is not something you're interested in watching, then by all means click off of the video. You don't have to watch this, you don't have to watch my reactions, you can watch it after the games come out, after you've seen the shinies yourselves. This is not something I'm forcing you to watch. Like I said, it's very relaxed. It's just something I wanted to document my initial reaction and thoughts. So first of all, I can already tell they're in a super weird order, and I also know for a fact that I'm not going to have a lot to say about all of them, so if I don't have too much to say, if I just say, I like that one, then I'll just move on. I'm not going to force myself to say a bunch of things about certain ones that I just don't have much to say about. So that's a thing, and also I might say too much about certain ones, it depends. So I don't know how long this video is going to be, but we're just going to get right into it. So we're starting off with Alolan Rattata. So there's the shiny. I honestly, and here's Raticate too, I like this. I like this color, not the shiny I expected. It obviously stands out. This thing's gonna stand out like crazy when you encounter it. So that's interesting, and it's also interesting that their stomachs aren't the same. But anyway, going on. Ash's Pikachu, gonna scroll right past those, but I definitely think that that's a really cool idea, so that is awesome. And another cool thing about this video is you get to see my initial reaction to some of the newer Pokemon. So here's Alolan Raichu. I think the brown looks super good about it. It's got like a chocolatey vibe to it. Definitely not what I would have made it, but I think it looks good. You're not going to encounter this. This is not going to be something you can random encounter, so that's kind of sad because it'd be super cool to see this thing sparkle. Moving on, I guess all the Alolan forms are right up. I swear, I think that I might have come pretty close with my speculations for at least Sandshrew. Maybe not Sandslash, but Sandshrew I think I did get kind of close with. And I like them. I mean, it doesn't change too much, but the underbelly changes just enough that it's going to stand out a lot, so I think it's a good shiny. So far, nothing that I don't like. Once again, I'm going to mention my speculations a lot in this video because for a really long time that is all I focused on. I completely adore these ice types. Ice type is my favorite type of all time. To see Pokemon reimagined in ice type is completely insane. I definitely made this Alolan Ninetales this same color. I did a midnight purple. I know it perfectly. I'm not so sure that I did Vulpix, but I definitely got the Ninetales one right. So we'll see when I do an in-depth video, but obviously two shinies I really love. Subtle changes. It doesn't always have to be completely drastic. You can see here, Vulpix didn't change that much. It's a very light color, but the accents change and it looks really good on it. Same thing goes for Ninetales. It's a little bit more drastic here, but definitely a good shiny. Okay, so Alolan Diglett and Alolan Dugtrio. I think it's really funny. I honestly cracked up when I first saw it. Most people hate it. Only thing I have to say, I wish that the shiny was a brunette instead of a blonde. That's all I really have to say about it. It looks like they're coming out of Volcano instead of just dirt, which is super cool. So that's fun. I think that they're fun, and their shiny stayed the same. So I don't hate shiny Diglett, and I don't hate these guys. Okay, so we don't have the regular comparison here, but here is the shiny Meowth. Definitely out there. Persian as well. But I guess it matches the dark type, so it's got that going for it. And they don't look bad. It's not Probably not my favorite shinies of the bunch, but they look okay, so we'll move on from those. This family, these shinies basically stayed the same, so I'm not going to say too much about them. I don't really get the forms, why the Alolan forms have big eyebrows and things like that, but I think this one's super cool. I definitely think Golem looks cool. The other ones I think are kind of boring, but they're still fun, like whatever. And the shiny stayed the same, so of course that's good. I didn't get a chance to speculate for Grimer and Muck, but this is what I would have done for the shiny I expect, because as you can see in all my other ones, if you go back and watch, the first shiny that I made was the shiny based off of their other colors, and since Grimer and Muck's original colors for their Alolan forms are green, I naturally would have made these purple like they are. So I would have got these ones right. I mean, you know, hindsight 2020, but definitely shinies I would have enjoyed, definitely shinies I would have made, so I like those a lot. Alolan and Exeggutor, it stayed the same, of course. Not too surprised here with the Zygarde. It looks great. I love Zygarde shiny. I think it looks good on this form. I think it looks great on this form as well. And now we're gonna get into the starters. So now we're getting into the meat of what this region has to offer, and Rowlet shiny is completely amazing. I absolutely adore this. Look at this. And I really came really close with my speculation. I'm not going to show it in this video. You have to wait to see or go back and look yourselves. But I got that bow tie color right. I made the fur or the feathers like a mint green. And the only thing that I really got wrong was I made the beak and the feet brown instead of that deeper red. So that's completely amazing. I didn't think I would get that. And then the same thing goes for Dartrix, its evolution. I might be shiny hunting this guy because honestly, I think this shiny is amazing. It's probably one of the best shinies of the whole region. I just love these colors. These are just colors that I really like on Pokemon, so I think it looks great. And then its evolution follows in with that, and I think it looks really good on him too, so that's definitely something I might hunt. Litten shiny, I didn't get it right, but I completely love it. I love white on shinies. That's another thing you guys know. Blue, white, black, and purple are the shiny colors that I completely adore. So Litten, its whole line, I think, looks really great. I'm really surprised here, and also with this guy, that they didn't change the color of the flames. The flames stayed the same color, and same thing goes for his collar. I would expect them to change that to some sort of blue, because that's what they've done in the past. I have to be honest, this is not a Pokemon I was excited about. I didn't like that this is what he looked like, and I was actually really bummed out that he didn't stay on all four. I didn't like the fact that he was bipedal, but seeing him in his sprite form and with his shiny colors, this is another one that I could really see myself hunting and maybe choosing, because he looks super cool in game. And that's one of the things that you have to remember when you look at official artwork. Sometimes the official artwork isn't the best. Like, yes, of course that's the official artwork, like that's how it's going to look, but sometimes the way they move in game and the way that they look in game really changes your opinion on a Pokemon, and that's the case for this guy. Popplio, of course, it doesn't have a great shiny. Poor Popplio gets crapped on again, but for me, this shiny does the trick. This is kind of what I expected. I expected them to maybe do a little bit more of a deeper purple or more of a pink, but it makes sense. It just makes sense to me, so I wasn't at all surprised by that. Brionne shiny. This was almost shiny colors that I did use to speculate. A great shiny right there. I think that looks amazing. And this is a Pokemon that I really like as well. Honestly, I just think it's very melodic. It looks really pretty. It's got a nice vibe to it. Something that we haven't seen in a water type in a while. Not a water type, but a water starter. Is just that angelic look, to where this looks very much like a cross between a mermaid and a seal. It's got a Dr. Seuss vibe going on for me, and I don't know, I like it a lot. And its shiny's cool too. I think it's funny that it went blonde, and I do wish that more changed with it, but it's good. I like it. Not gonna say too much here. Pikipek looks really cool. It's a good shiny, but nothing too crazy changes. Just that little streak on its head. So pretty simple there. And then its evolutions, we hadn't seen those before, but I think their shinies look really good too. So it's probably something I'll hunt, maybe even get it randomly playing through. But for the most part, I'm probably going to be hunting most things that I use in my team. Look at this beak. This beak, I think, is amazing looking. This is probably the redeeming factor for this shiny. Like I said, I like Pikipek shiny, but it's nothing crazy. It doesn't stand out too much. But this guy, that beak looks crazy. Look at the comparison. The beak right there, and then the beak right there. It's just really beautiful. It stands out a lot, and the colors are just kind of out there, and I really like when shiny colors are out there. They're just not normal. So I think that looks good. Yungoos and Gumshoos, I definitely expected a pink vibe with it. So I'm not surprised, but I am surprised that I had that aspect right. The ones that I speculated were not exactly right at all by any means, but the fact that it does have pink on it I think is cool. Not the best shiny, kind of boring actually, if you want me to be honest. I think it's a very boring shiny. It stands out and you'll notice it when you find it, so that's cool. I do like the red on this guy. I wish that his back changed color a little bit. I noticed that the gray, it goes from brown to gray on the inside, so that's cool. Yeah, not the shiny I would have picked for it. Charjabug shiny definitely reminds me a bit of a Metapod vibe. Goes from a green to like a deeper, maybe an orange or a red. It looks very red here. So it reminds me a lot of Metapod. Cool shiny, not a problem. Now this guy, Vikavolt. Look at this shiny. This shiny is amazing. It's got white on it. I think that green goes really good with it and keeps with the bug theme. Overall, this is probably one of the best shinies for me in Alola because, I don't know, it's a very drastic change. Completely changes. And the colors that they chose are really gorgeous. I think they work really well together and it's something that you wouldn't expect to see. And that's something that I like. So definitely a good shiny right there. Crabrawler doesn't change too much, goes from blue to red. It's okay, nothing too crazy. I think this is his evolution, and it makes the same color changes, so that kind of verifies that for me. And overall, kind of a lackluster vibe, but, you know, not terrible. Nothing so far has been too terrible for me in regards to shinies. The change here is completely amazing. They changed the red and the black, and it does wonders for this guy. I think that this is a really great design for Pokemon, but then that shiny is just gorgeous. Oh my freaking gosh. Black shinies are amazing. You don't come across them too often, so this guy's a gem. Definitely something I'll probably have in my team. Yes, the yellow goes to white, which is nice, but it's nothing too crazy. This one's pretty good. It does the same thing as the first one where it changed the colors, but it definitely doesn't have the same feel that that first one does. And then this one, again, changes the colors. And I like this one. I like the blue on it. I like when blue is the base color. You guys know that? Yeah, the first one has got to be my favorite. Here's a shiny for Cutiefly. Not too much to say here. It goes from yellow to pink. Nothing too crazy. Definitely going to stand out, but nothing beautiful. This guy, though, its evolution, I like the change of its scarf. That thing stands out like crazy, so that's going to be really awesome to see if you can random encounter this pup. So that's a good one right there. Rockruff. This is a shiny I really like. Now, it's not the same blue that I chose, but it's definitely a really gorgeous blue, and I think it matches the brown really well, so it's a really good shiny, and I can't wait to hunt it. Its evolution, same thing. I gotta say the same thing. It's really nice. And this evolution of him is even better. Take a look. It goes from red to blue, and it's a darker blue, and I really like darker blue. I like that they're not using the same blue for all of these shinies. I like that it's kind of evolving with the evolutions. That's something that I wanted to see, and that's something that they're showcasing. So definitely really beautiful. For this guy, very subtle change, nothing too crazy, but it still looks good. Wishy-washy, I think that it could have been a better shiny. Honestly, I think they could have done a way better job with this. Not saying it's a bad shiny, and not saying it doesn't stand out, but it could have been better. That's my opinion on it. So this is the Pokemon that was leaked on a TCG box on accident. I think it was through Amazon. And there you go, it goes from blue to like a pink red. That's a very expected shiny, so nothing too crazy there. And here's its evolution. Same color changes there. Definitely a Pokemon that I like. This is a very weird design, and I like the out there designs. So it's a Pokemon that I'd like to see. Now this one and its evolution, Mudsdale, I did not expect their shinies to look like this at all. I do like that it keeps the clay vibe, but it is a little weird. I don't think that the colors match very well. It makes them look like toys, which, like, maybe that's what they're going for, but it's a little strange, not gonna lie. Not the colors I would have picked, and probably not my favorite shinies of the generation. Now, I don't know if it's because we're close to Halloween, but this is definitely right up my alley. The shinies and just the overall design for this Pokemon and its evolution are just super cool. They've got like a spider vibe to them, but they also somehow look like aliens. I don't know, and the purple, it just reminds me so much of Halloween. It feels like something I should be hunting right this second. So definitely some of my favorites right here. They're great. I think the evolutionary line's great, and I think their shiny colors are great too. So I think they did a really good job with those. For this guy and its evolution, I don't care too much about them, so their shinies don't stand out all that much to me. I think they could have maybe changed a little bit more, but they don't look bad. I think they look good. And then its evolution, I think it looks even better on its evolution because his whole body is that pink. So the change is very drastic for the evolution, not so much for the little one. Now for the mushrooms of the generation, we get so many freaking mushrooms in Pokemon. I don't understand it. But I think the shiny looks super cool. It's not that drastic, but maybe I kind of contradict myself sometimes, but for this one, it doesn't need to be drastic. I think it looks good, and the same thing goes for its evolution. I think this is a really funny Pokemon. Look at his face. He just looks, I don't know, he has a very strange vibe to him. and it's almost as if he doesn't realize that he has a mushroom on his head. I think that's really funny. I like the design, and I like the shiny, so I think that they did a good job with that. Here's Salandit and his shiny form. I think that the shiny looks really good. I'm so excited about this one. It's definitely something I'm gonna hunt. And its evolution, I think it's got a really sleek design, and they did a really nice job with these two shinies. They could have screwed it up, but they didn't, and overall, I think that they have the same kind of vibe as like Helioptile in his evolution. Here's Stuffle and Beware. They've got very much like a honey vibe going on, which makes a lot of sense because they're bears, so I think that these shinies fit really well, and I think that they look super good. They're gonna stand out, and it's something that I actually I think I got it pretty close. I think that I made them yellow, so definitely something that I was expecting. For Bound Sweet, I like this shiny. I wanted more. I wanted so much more for Bound Sweet. I wanted the grass or the stem on its head to be either like a mint green or maybe like a deep turquoise, something like that, but I think the shinies of his evolution look so much better. I think these colors look really nice together, but it's weird because it doesn't, I guess it is. I was gonna say it doesn't feel like the same kind of vibe you got with this guy, but I guess it's just very different designs. And then I'm pretty sure its evolution, yes, its evolution keeps with the same thing, and I think that these colors look really nice together. I'm always a fan of that cream, and I'm always a fan of the purple colors, so I think it looks really good. Comfy, not the best. I like blue, but I think that they should have did better with the accent color on it, so I'm not a big fan of that. This guy, I don't really like this shiny very much at all. It's probably one of the first ones, Comfy and this guy were one of the first few that I just don't really care about. So I don't really have too much to say about it. I think they could have done a way better job, and I don't like the color changes that they made. But this guy, I like it. I like this one a lot. I think the blue looks really good. I'm so freaking biased. I think the blue looks really good. I think it is a little strange that they changed this black to blue, but then changed this to like a green. I don't really get that too much, but you know, if you're gonna change one color, I feel like you should change all of it. But whatever, I think it looks good, so I'm not gonna question it too much. Definitely, probably a deciding factor on which one I hunt, so really nice there. Wimpod, another one that I feel like I got really close. I definitely feel like I made this exact shiny, so we'll see very soon, but I really like it. I think that that's a beautiful shiny right there, and it's exactly what it looks like. And his evolution is a freaking beast. What the heck is this thing? It looks like something straight out of Men in Black. Look. Okay, so there's the regular one, and then here's the shiny. Once again, a beautiful shiny. This shiny is completely gorgeous. It's gonna be in my top 10 for sure. I love this thing to death. It might even be my favorite of the bunch. I just think that he's got a really cool design and a shiny to boot, so like, good job, Game Freak, you really nailed it with this one. What the heck? Now for the sandcastles, their shiny forms are beautiful. I didn't get to speculate these guys, but black sand makes way too much sense. Hawaii, I'm pretty sure, has a black beach, and so look at these guys. I think they look really good. I think the black looks amazing on them, and I'm really happy to see Game Freak taking black shinies and making more of them. Not too many, because obviously that would make them not as special, but right here it makes sense and it looks good for both of these guys. So definitely two shinies that I'm really happy about. Moving on to this guy, I don't care at all. I think the shiny changes a good amount, so you're gonna notice it, but yeah, kinda gross. Here's Type Null, here's his shiny. It makes way too much sense to me that they didn't change it that much, so I'm not gonna say I'm disappointed, but I do wish that they would have changed a little more, but not surprised. His evolution, same thing. They didn't change too much, so not too much to say. I think they do look good, but I think they could look way better. As for this Meteor Pokemon, I think its shiny is beautiful. Once again, we've got that black and white vibe to it, and look at that, the colors inside of it, the accents, they mean so much when it comes to shinies, and I think they did a really good job with it. Moving on to Kamala, his shiny, once again, it's not exactly what I picked. His colors don't change at all, but his drum does change. Maybe it's not a drum, maybe it's a log. I look at it and I think of it as a drum, but it does change colors, and so many of you guys in my shiny speculation video were saying that you know, the wood's not going to change, only he is, and it's quite the contrary. The wood does change, and he doesn't change too much at all. So, really surprised there, but I can't say I'm disappointed. I think it's interesting. It's weird, but it's interesting. Here's Turtonator, here's his shiny. Not the greatest. It probably looks way better in game. when it's moving around, but it's just not the shiny I expected to see from it, and it's definitely not the shiny that I wanted to see from it. So not too satisfied with this one, but I mean, it could grow on me. Eventually I could learn to love it, I'm sure. There's not even a comparison here. I couldn't even tell that this thing was shiny, so that's all I'm gonna say about that. Not impressed at all. But Mimikyu shiny is super cool. It's just like a dulled out gray, which is something that I really wanted out of it. I think it makes too much sense for it to be like a washed up ragdoll Pikachu costume or cloth or whatever it is, and I think it just makes a lot of sense for the shiny to just lose its color completely. It keeps that ghost type vibe, it's very creepy, and it looks really good. Here's another perspective of it right there. Honestly, really happy with that one. I like the shiny a lot. Here's Bruxish, and here is its shiny. Oh my gosh, that thing is way too loud. Those colors don't match at all. I'm disgusted. I think it'll look cool in game, but I really hate it. I don't like this at all. I think that makes no sense, and I can't look at it for any longer, so I'm gonna scroll past. Now we're moving on to Drampa. It's got a cool shiny. I'm not amazed by it, but I do think that it looks good. It doesn't look terrible, so definitely not the worst. Here we have what seems to be like an animated anchor, so hopefully it has a ghost type to it, because that would make way too much sense, and I think the shiny colors look really good. It's safe to go from that blue to that red, but everything else just looks good. I just think it looks good, and it's something that I'll probably want to hunt. Yeah, I like that one. Here's Jangmo-o, and here's his shiny. This is not the shiny I expected from it at all, but I'm blown away by it. I think this shiny looks good. Its evolution, this shiny looks good. And its final evolution, even this shiny looks so freaking cool. It's just like, I don't know, I think that these colors are very contrasting, and you have to be careful with that sort of thing, but on this guy, it just makes too much sense. It looks really good with each other. I think they look great right on top of each other, and honestly, definitely a shiny in my top 10 for sure. And I think a lot of you guys might be triggered by that, because these colors, they don't match, but I just like it. I just think it looks good. it stands out so much, and it's not what I expected, so I'm pleasantly surprised. Here is Tapu Koko. His shiny looks really good, and then the rest of them, I'm pretty sure they have the very same vibe to it. Now that I'm looking through them, it really seems like Game Freak did a lot of black shinies, which I don't know how I feel about that. I like black shinies a lot, but if there's too many, like I said before, you're not going to feel as special about them. So I think they might have to be careful about it, but I'm not going to deny the fact that all of these guys look really cool. The black looks really nice on them, and all the accent colors kind of just change to black, which is interesting. So it's like black on black. Not what I expect from it. So once again, yeah, I think they're pretty cool. Is this the shiny? I don't think I've seen this shiny yet. This is like a pre-evolution of the legendary Solgaleo, and I'm not seeing the change. I'm not understanding. Oh, the cheeks. The cheeks are what's different here. Blue cheeks and red cheeks. Probably one of the worst shinies in the entire game. Are you freaking kidding me? How are you supposed to notice that? That is disgusting. Here's the other pre-evolution, and okay, it doesn't have as bad of a shiny. Like, it looks like it changes. It makes sense that that's the shiny. But this guy, I can't even pretend to enjoy that at all. But this one, that one's okay. So redeeming right there. That's a redeeming factor. As for Solgaleo, I do not like this shiny at all. And I think a lot of people do, but I don't like this at all. I think the colors make no sense at all. I think it's very ambitious, but not in a good way. I think it looks like it was dipped in Kool-Aid. You know when you eat a bunch of red Airheads and your tongue turns red? Yeah, I think it looks like that. I don't like it. And then I'm pretty sure, yeah, Yveltal is kind of the same. And I like Yveltal's a little bit better because inside here, this changes to darker and this changes to darker, and I don't know, for some reason I feel like it works a little bit better on it, maybe because it's just going from a purple to this color, but I just, you know, it doesn't make sense to me to have Solgaleo change from white to this vibrant pink, red, disgusting color and not really have the armor change too much. I just don't like it. I don't like it. It makes me feel weird, so I don't like that. And oh my freaking gosh, Ultra Beasts have shinies. I could have shiny speculated these guys, but I did not think that they were going to be able to be shiny at all, and I also didn't have any idea that they were going to be, spoiler alert, catchable. their data miners found a new type of Pokeball that is seemingly for only catching the Ultra Beasts. I mean, that's a decent shiny right there. We'll go on to the next one. This guy, I like this one. It's got very much like a Bug Juice vibe to it, so I think it looks good. He looks like a superhero, so that's super cool. This lady, she's got black pants on. That's all I'm getting out of this, so not the greatest shiny. This guy, his shiny does change quite a bit. The designs for these are so interesting. I'm really curious, like I don't understand, and we're not supposed to yet, but I have no idea what these guys even freaking are or what they stand for or what they want. So it's like, it's super weird to be looking at these because they're not quite Pokemon. So I don't really know what I'm looking at. Yeah, that's a shiny that looks good. This guy, I don't know what that is either. These designs are ridiculous. But a beautiful shiny, what the heck? That looks really nice. So if you can somehow shiny hunt Ultra Beast, you know I'm going to, but I really highly doubt that that's a thing in the games. I don't think that they put that in. This guy looks like Origami, and his shiny looks cool. And this guy has a really Halloween vibe to me for some reason, just maybe because he looks like a giant monster. Having that mouth open from the middle like that is so cool. So this to me looks like it should be at shiny color already. Here's the actual shiny. That's why it has a Halloween vibe to it. It's got orange on it. It looks like one of those white pumpkins that you cut open. So like, I don't know, it looks super cool. So if you can shiny hunt these by any chance, this is one I'm definitely going to shiny hunt. And this might be the last Ultra Beast, but oh my gosh, I haven't even seen this guy yet. They look like, you know what it reminds me of? Have you ever seen the movie Hercules, the animated movie? And the titans that come out of the ground in the middle of the ocean, there's one that's like made of ice, and there's one that's a giant cyclops, and one is a tornado, and one that throws thunderbolts. Like, that's what these look like to me. They look like the titans from Hercules. What the heck? They're so bizarre, but I like it. I'm not hating on it. I think it's cool, but it's just so different from anything we've seen, which I guess is really fun. So here's Magearna. This isn't its shiny form. I thought this was its shiny form when it was originally announced, but it's like 1,000-year Pokeball form or something like that. Something really weird. That is a great looking shiny right there. I think that is the Pokeball shiny. Yes, I think that's that one. So that looks really nice. I like that. And then I guess, wait a minute. Is this Magearna shiny? What changes? Hold on. No, that has to be wrong. I'm really hoping that that's not its shiny, because I don't understand. Nothing changes. We're not going to spend too much time on it, but geez Louise, I really hope that that is not its shiny, because I like changes. I like seeing changes, which is a really perfect segue for the final shiny of the bunch. This is the Pokemon we've known about for a while but hadn't seen the design for, Marshadow. Here it is. It's super cute. Look at the guy, but look at its shiny. Can you tell what changes? Because I know what changes, but it's really hard to notice. I stared at it the first time for like 10 minutes. I'm not even joking. The only thing that seemingly changes on this guy is the little swoop on top of its head right here. It goes from this like blue color to like this purple color. So once again, a really cute design as a Pokemon, but we're not finishing strong. This is probably one of the worst shiny designs of the whole Alolan region. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this edition of my videos. I hope you enjoyed my shiny thoughts on all of the new Pokemon for the Alolan region. I'm super excited to shiny hunt in these games, so if you are too, and you liked my thoughts or agreed with stuff, then please give this video a thumbs up and let me know your thoughts on the Pokemon down below in the comments. Like I said earlier, I'm going to be doing a more in-depth look and comparison to all of the shinies that I made, so we're going to get a chance to see how many of the shinies I actually guessed correctly. And honestly, I think there might be a few, so I'm really excited to do that. Hopefully that is something that will come later this week. You can expect more TCG videos. I have a tag video coming out soon, and a Supreme Answers. If you have a question to ask me, please leave it in the comments below. Ask me on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, wherever you'd like. Just use hashtag HolyShanks. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'm really excited for Pokemon Sun and Moon. More videos are coming very soon, but until next time, this is Supreme Arcanine signing out, and I will see you guys later.